Hey everyone, welcome back. We are here with another install. I picked up this dash mount for the 2022 to 2024 Frontiers. They do make a 25 and up version. It's a little bit different. So install wise is relatively the same, but it will be a little bit different. Keep that in mind if you're watching this for years. But we're going to install this dash mount from Z1 Off-Road. Comes with a little mount for your phone. This is also a different mount that you can order with it for your phone. I'll show you that once it's installed. You get your hardware package. I'll show you what you use where when we get in there. You get your stickers. This is a little boot to go around it, just cleans it up, makes it look a little nicer when it's installed. And then, reason being, for me anyways, to install this, is once we get going on the off-road stuff, it's easier to have kind of a view out the window. Can film in there, holds my phone. When you're using your Google Maps or Onyx or whatever you use when you go off-road, everything's right there. It's easy to reach, easy to use, and it'll just clean up the dash. I won't have a bunch of stuff hanging around everywhere. Keep in mind, you can hardwire this thing into your truck if you want. I'm not doing that, but you got the hole here and the hole there. That's to run wires down. You can have a plug and everything up here ready to go for whatever you have mounted up top, but I'm not going to do that. So they make little plugs which are in here. You'll see that too. So we'll get in the truck and get it installed. All right, so it's quite easy to do this. I have this little boot in here. Take it out, just a little storage tray, and then you got two Phillips head screws there and there. Take those out and then pop out this middle chunk of plastic right here. All right, so once you got the two screws out, it is stuck in there. You can get a pry tool on one of the corners if you can. Or if you look right here in the middle, it's got a little notch. So if you have a pry tool, which I forgot to bring mine, but just get a little flathead screwdriver, put it in there, and pry it up. That's all you got to do. Won't wreck anything. Just give it a wiggle. It is clipped in just with your basic push clips like that. So if at one point you want to put this back in, it's as easy as just clipping it down and throwing the two screws back in. And now you can see, once it's out of the way, you do have a big hole here. That is for, now this is the chance, if you want to hardwire this thing in for charging or accessories or whatever, you can drop the wires down, feed them through the bottom, whatever, run your wires where you got to go. It's a way to just hide it. Everything's hidden. It'll all be under the plate afterwards. So if that's what you're going to do, this is the step you would go to. But for us, what we're going to do is get the mounting plate. You can see you got three rectangle cutouts right here. They have T-bolts with little thumb screws. So we're going to put that on the mounting plate, bring it in here, and I'll show you exactly what you got to do. All right, so you get three thumb screws and thumb screw and the T-bolt like this. And basically, this is the way your mount will sit up there. The one that has the hole, I put the little rubber plug in the middle because I'm not going to be running any wires, so that would be just to fill in the gap so you don't have a hole. And then you have 1, 2, that'll be where the third one goes. They're slotted, so you can move it around a little bit, find the sweet spot. But basically, what you're aiming for, because your T-bolts will be underneath, is you want to get those in and then find the right direction. You're going to want to drop them in like that, turn it, and then tighten it. So it'll tighten itself down like that. You may have to pull up slightly. So once these are in place, if I can get this back out now. Once it's all three are in there in place, pull up a little bit. Either probably on the arm would be the easiest. Pull up a bit, tighten that down by hand. Does not have to be extremely tight, but you don't want it to be rattling around either. So just twist it down, give it a little turn. Hand tight's good enough, but don't go crazy on it. All right, so now that you got it pointing in the right direction, you can see this is going to sit down in there just slightly below the trim. And then, like I said, you're going to want to pull up on these a little bit just to put some tension on there and twist those T-bolts tight. And then we'll put the two screws we pulled out back into those two holes because you can see it lines up just fine. And that will hold the front portion, and then we can work on getting the top section on. All right, so that'll be what it looks like when it's all installed properly. You got your two screws back in. These ones, if you're wondering if you got them in, because obviously you can't see if that T-bolt is the right way, put it in, tighten it down. You can see These are just hand tight. You don't need a wrench or anything to crank on them, but you can see how it's all down even across here. The gap is the same. If you have it the wrong way, maybe the T-bolt ends up back on top. This is going to sit higher. It's going to kind of line up with the trim here. So other way you can do, grab each one, give it a yank. You can see it's not going to move anywhere. It doesn't even wiggle. And then of course, if you look kind of from this angle, because it's got to put the top plate on, it'll line up with the dash just like you see here. All right, now last couple steps before this plate goes on. They give you the 2 rubber plugs. The one was in the base there that we put on. This one goes in here. Just push them in, super easy. It's just rubber and it gives it that clean look. And then secondly, they send you the little rubber boot. And what this is it just gets placed up here before anything goes on. You tuck it around, make sure it's behind the arms like you see there, so it all sits nice, and it will just give the plate a nice clean look around once the top plate's on, so you don't have any weird gaps. And sometimes the dash, especially if you're in a hot area and you park outside, the dash seems to warp a little bit on these trucks. So this little rubber boot around just gives it a clean look, and it'll eliminate any weird gaps and stuff you might have once it's on. Then the last part for the actual plate install is, of course, you got a ton of holes on the top of these things. That's to mount other accessories to it. They give you a lot of options. And then basically they send you all these little screws. They're a hex head, so you'll need a Allen key, or if you got wrenches with the hex head on them, you can tighten them up like that. But basically, just like this one, you'll want 1, 2, 3, 4. Where the 4 legs were, this will screw down into those. All right, so there you go. It's all installed. Tighten down the 4 screws. Again, don't go Hulk on them. Just tighten them down hand tight. The rubber, it does pop up slightly. I don't know if I have it too tight or I just placed it in there a little bit wrong, but let it sit in the sun. It'll drop back down and form back to itself. If you don't like the rubber look, you don't have to put it on. You can install this as is without it. It will look just as good with or without it on there. And now, of course, it came with the little mount for the phone. So I'm not going to do this right now, but I'm thinking bolting it right here. And then what I ordered, like I mentioned, is the magnet mount, which is what came in this little box here. Now you can get this with wireless charging or without. I wasn't setting up any wireless charging to my phone, so I got it without wireless. But if you look in here, very simple. You have your mount, which reason I got this is because this is an adjustable mount. So when I have my phone up there, I can turn it towards me to film. I can turn it straight, whichever way I want, get some cool shots when we're driving down the roads and stuff. And that will mount directly to this mount that came with it via this little ball here. If I get this out, you can see just a simple screw. Comes with the right size Allen key. You put it in, tighten it down. So this will sit on here like such. Tighten it down, and then the phone can go into place. So I'm going to actually do this. I'm going to hook it all up here quickly, and then I'll show you what it looks after everything is completely installed as I want it to be. All right, so there you have it, guys. This is how I'm going to have it installed for now. And this, again, is a magnet. This is the other half of it. You stick it to the back of your phone. And then if my phone, if I wasn't recording with it, was on here, you just stick it, and there you go. And then, of course, now this thing can pivot up and down, side to side, whichever way you want it. And then I can point it in whatever direction I want. And then I used 2 of the holes, like here and here. You can also get some T-bolts and go anywhere basically on the entire plate if you want it. And then you're good to go. If you have the wireless version, your wires will be running back down there into the truck, wired wherever you have it hardwired. But as for this is how it's installed. All right, so there you go, guys. Install was easy, only takes a couple minutes. You need a Phillips head screwdriver and an Allen key. That's it. You can get the whole thing done. And then, as you can see, it doesn't vibrate too badly around here. I've hit a few bumps, a couple speed bumps from where I was out before, and the phone hasn't fallen off, so the magnet is strong enough to hold. And I have a Galaxy S23 Ultra, so it's a bigger, heavier phone with a case on it, so it'll hold that all no problem. As for off-road, I don't know, with the extra bumps and stuff, maybe it'll stay up, maybe it won't. I'll find out in the future. But as for this video, all you got to do is, if you want to order this, I'll put both of them in the link below. But all you have to remember is 2022 to 2024 is the one that I've installed. And then if you have the newer redesign, 2025 and up, it will be a different design slightly. It installs a little bit differently. So you have to keep that in mind when you're buying, because if you buy the 24, will not fit for the 25s and vice versa. So just make sure you order the right one. I'll put the link for both down below. Comes from Z1. They're shipping super quick. I'm up here in Canada and I got this thing in like 4 days. So it doesn't take a long time to get up here either. And then as for the rest, if you want to see the off-roading stuff, because I bought this mount to give you guys some cooler shots while we're out driving around out there, exploring and camping and doing some of the stuff we do. So if you want to see that, make sure to like and subscribe. We'll catch you in those videos. And if you want to see anything else on the truck, feel free to go back and check out our previous videos. We got lots of reviews, installs, and all sorts of stuff on the truck here. So again, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and hopefully we catch you in the next video.